Have you ever felt that no matter how much you try, life keeps slipping through your fingers? That no matter how hard you work, you remain stuck in the same cycle, the same stress, the same silent battles? This is not coincidence. It is a warning. Every single day that you live in this loop, you lose time you will never get back. Time is running right now, and the clock does not pause for hesitation. The truth is sharp. Reality is not responding to what you wish for. It is responding to who you are being in this exact moment. When you carry fear, doubt, or scarcity, life mirrors it without mercy. Science confirms this. Studies from the HeartMath Institute reveal that when your heart and mind move in coherence, your entire system shifts and your reality transforms. But most people never reach that alignment. They think positive, while their nervous system is still wired to anxiety. And so, nothing changes. Imagine this clearly. A person spends years repeating affirmations, hanging vision boards, listening to endless content. Yet their income, their relationships, their reality remain the same. Why? Because the frequency they radiate has not shifted. And here lies the threat you cannot ignore. If you keep broadcasting the vibration of survival, your future will be nothing but a reflection of your past. But when you change the tone of your emotions, when you choose trust over fear, action over hesitation, creation over reaction, reality bends, doors open, life responds. Right now is not just another moment. It is the moment, the only chance you truly own. If you miss it, it is gone forever. So ask yourself with full honesty, will you continue recycling the old frequency, or will you shift today and claim the life waiting for you? Now let me ask you again, why do you think your life still feels like it is stuck in place? Why do you feel like you are running harder, faster, yet going nowhere? The answer is not because you are weak. It is not because you lack intelligence. It is because the vibration you carry belongs to the old version of you, the version trapped in survival mode, the version that reacts instead of creates. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. Every breath, every thought, every feeling broadcasts a frequency, and the quantum field reflects that frequency with absolute precision. Like a mirror, it does not care about your wishes. It reflects your state of being. When your state is rooted in fear, scarcity, or doubt, the reflection is always more of the same. Bills pile up, stress returns, relationships remain strained, and deep inside, frustration grows quietly, eating at your confidence. But here is the shift you have been missing. The moment your inner state changes, the outer reflection changes. When your heart and mind move into coherence, your body, your energy, your entire system reorganizes. That is when reality starts to respond differently. This is not fantasy. It is science. Research shows that emotional coherence transforms how your nervous system functions. And when your inner world aligns, your outer world bends to match. Look at James, a sales representative from Texas. For years, he drowned himself in self-help. He read book after book. He filled his walls with vision boards. He whispered affirmations, day and night. Yet his income never grew. His stress never left. His life stayed flat. Only when he changed his inner frequency did everything shift. He stopped rehearsing worry. He replaced fear with trust. He trained his nervous system to rest in confidence instead of anxiety. Within 6 months, he was promoted to manager. Not by chance, not by luck, but by alignment. And here is what you need to see. Your outer world is nothing but a mirror of your inner frequency. If you want new results, you must broadcast a new state. So pause right now. Breathe. Look inside yourself. Are you radiating fear, or are you radiating power? Are you carrying doubt, or are you carrying trust? Because the world is not waiting. The reflection is happening this very second. If you continue with the old frequency, your future will look just like your past. But if you shift your vibration now, even slightly, the mirror will reveal a new reality. This is your wake-up call. This is your warning. This is also your invitation that the answer is not hiding in the outside world. It is vibrating inside you right now, with every thought, every emotion, every signal you send. The only question left is this: will you step into the frequency of the life you desire? Or will you stay locked inside the echo of the old self? Time is moving. The choice is yours. The reflection will follow. You change your frequency by shifting your state of being, not by piling up endless positive thoughts. Can you feel the difference? Thoughts alone are surface level. They are fragments passing through the mind, while your state of being is the ground they rest upon. It is the deeper vibration that commands how life reflects back at you. You might repeat affirmations 100 times, but if your nervous system is anchored in fear, the signal you send is still fear, and the world answers that signal with accuracy. Do you see now why so many people try for years and still remain stuck? They confuse thinking with being. But your state is more than ideas. It is the fusion of what you feel, what you believe, and how you act in each moment. That is why alignment is powerful. When the mind, the heart, and the behavior move together in the same direction, a new frequency is born. This is not fantasy. It is the hidden engine of transformation. HeartMath Institute has shown that when you combine steady breathing with a genuine positive emotion, the heart and brain move into coherence. And from that state, both your psychology and your physiology improve. The body relaxes, the mind clears, and reality itself seems to bend in new ways. Now imagine how quickly you could change your daily experience if you practice this. Picture a simple method known as quick coherence. You close your eyes. You place your hand on your heart. You breathe deeper than usual. And while breathing, you recall a moment of gratitude, a time when you felt safe, inspired, or deeply alive. Within 2 minutes, your inner state changes. The frequency you send shifts, and the mirror of reality begins to rearrange. This is how fast coherence can happen when you decide to step into it. Let me give you a living example. Sarah, a teacher in California, used this practice before walking into her classroom. Each morning, she paused for 2 minutes, breathed deeply, and focused on a happy memory with her family. After 3 months, everything around her responded differently. Her students felt her calm presence. They listened more. They opened up more, and her school named her the most inspiring teacher. Was that luck? No. It was frequency. It was coherence. It was the shift of being. Do you realize what this means for you? It means you do not have to wait years. You do not have to live trapped in old patterns. You can change state right now. You can alter the vibration you send before the world reflects it back. And you do not need complex rituals to begin. You can start in this very moment. Breathe. Focus on your heart. Recall a moment of pure joy. Feel it in your body. Stay there for a minute. Let your nervous system record that as your new baseline, then carry it into your actions. Because thoughts might guide you, but only state transforms you. And here is the call. You can begin right now. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe as if you already touched the dream you long for. Hold that energy and let it expand. Let it rewrite your frequency. And when you walk back into the world, notice how the mirror begins to shine differently. The question is no longer whether change is possible. The question is, will you step into this practice today? Or will you wait and allow the old state to keep recycling your past into your future? When you keep falling back into old habits, it is not because you are weak. It is because your nervous system is protecting what feels familiar. Can you see how powerful this is? Your brain is not against you. It is trying to keep you safe. Safe. Inside patterns it already knows. Safe inside the loop of the predictable. But here is the cost. Familiar does not mean good. Familiar does not mean growth. Familiar often means stuck. Asterisk, your brain is wired for survival. It prioritizes what it recognizes, even if that recognition keeps you trapped. This is why change feels uncomfortable. This is why stepping into something new triggers resistance. Your nervous system screams to pull you back, not because you are failing, but because it believes the unknown is dangerous. Have you felt that pull? That invisible force dragging you back to old reactions, old choices, old feelings? That is the survival mechanism in action. But you are not condemned to repeat the past. Neuroscience reveals a hidden key. The brain is plastic. It can be reshaped. Neuroplasticity proves that by practicing new patterns consistently, you can rewire connections. Studies show that in as little as 21 to 66 days, new networks are formed, and your brain starts to prefer the new over the old. This is how transformation becomes natural. The secret is not to battle the old habits with force. It is to outgrow them with microshifts. Tiny changes, repeated daily, reprogram the nervous system. Instead of overwhelming yourself with massive leaps, you introduce small actions that signal safety. You teach your brain that the new way is not a threat. You guide your system gently, step by step, until what once felt foreign becomes the new familiar. Imagine waking up tomorrow and choosing one small adjustment. Maybe it is how you breathe when stress rises. Maybe it is the words you speak to yourself before leaving the house. Maybe it is pausing for one mindful moment before reacting. Each microshift plants a seed. Each seed grows roots. Over time, these roots create a foundation strong enough to carry a new identity. Michael from Florida lived this reality. A veteran haunted by PTSD, his life was bound by anxiety and old reflexes. He tried to fight his symptoms with willpower, but nothing lasted. Only when he embraced small daily shifts did things change. He began with the way he started his mornings. A breath, a grounding routine, a new choice to move his body with purpose instead of collapsing into fear. Slowly, the wiring of his nervous system adapted. His anxiety reduced. His sense of safety grew. Months later, he reclaimed a life that once felt lost. That is the force of micro-shifts. So let me ask you, what would happen if you committed to one small shift today? What if instead of collapsing back into the loop, you leaned into a new response, a new pattern, a new rhythm? Do you realize that every little choice sends a signal to your brain? Each signal whispers, "This is safe. This is who I am becoming." And the more you repeat it, the louder the signal grows, until the old circuits fade and the new ones dominate. This is not struggle. This is training. This is how your brain learns. This is how your nervous system relaxes into a new identity. You do not have to force change. You only have to repeat it with intention. Every day you stand at a doorway. On one side is the old loop, comfortable but limiting. On the other side is growth, uncertain but alive. The brain will try to pull you back, but you hold the key. Micro shifts unlock the door. Consistency opens it wider. And eventually, what was once effort becomes automatic. Now is the time to realize that you are not broken. You are not weak. You are wired to survive, and survival favors the familiar. But you are more than survival. You are built for creation, for expansion, for new possibilities. Every small choice today is a brick that builds the foundation of the person you are becoming. So pause and feel this truth. The loop does not own you. Your nervous system is not your enemy. It is simply waiting for new instructions, and you are the one who can give them. The invitation is clear. Begin with one shift. Repeat it until your brain accepts it. Stack another shift. Repeat again. Watch as the architecture of your life changes from the inside out. So I ask you now, will you let the old patterns dictate your tomorrow? Or will you use today to plant the seeds of a new self? The choice is in your hands. The mirror will follow to make change feel natural. You must turn it into your emotional home. What does this mean for you? It means the new state cannot remain a temporary performance. It must become the ground you stand on, the air you breathe, the emotional baseline your body returns to automatically. Have you noticed how the old self always pulled you back because it was familiar? That same force can work for you once you build a new foundation. The nervous system adapts. The brain rewires. And what once felt forced becomes instinct. Your emotional baseline is the hidden setting that runs your life. It is not the thought you repeat once in a while, but the mood you carry when no one is watching. It is the default frequency your body remembers. When fear is your baseline, you see danger everywhere. When scarcity is your baseline, you find lack no matter how much you gain. But when trust becomes your baseline, when gratitude and power live in your body, the mirror of reality reflects abundance and opportunity back to you. Can you imagine what would shift if you lived from that ground every single day? The path is not complicated. You begin by acting as if, not just in your thoughts, but in your emotions and actions. When you rise in the morning, you practice feeling the state of the person you are becoming. You breathe as if you are already safe. You move as if you are already powerful. You speak as if you already carry certainty. The body does not distinguish between real and imagined. Consistency teaches the nervous system that this new state is home. Visualization magnifies this effect, but not the weak kind where you only see pictures in your mind. The true form engages your body. You imagine vividly, and then you feel it. You allow your chest, your breath, your muscles to experience the reality of your vision. Neuroscience confirms this. Studies by Dr. Joe Dispenza show that when people visualize with strong emotion, the same brain regions activate as if the event were happening. The body encodes the future as memory, and memory shapes the present. Linda, a photographer in New York, lived this truth. She imagined her work displayed in a gallery, not in vague images, but in detail. She walked through the exhibition in her mind. She saw the lights. She felt the joy of people admiring her photos. She allowed the emotion to fill her body as if it were happening now. 6 months later, she was invited to exhibit in Manhattan. The scene unfolded almost exactly as she had rehearsed in her heart. Coincidence? Or the inevitable reflection of a new emotional home? Do you see the secret here? The field does not wait for proof. It responds to your state. If you wait until life gives evidence before you believe, you will stay trapped. But if you believe with your whole being first, the evidence comes. Do not wait for proof to trust. Trust to create proof. That is the call. That is the turning point, God. So let me ask you directly, are you ready to stop visiting the new state as a guest and start living there as a resident? Are you ready to make gratitude, trust, and strength your permanent address? If you are, then each day becomes training. Each breath reinforces the baseline. Each visualization rewires the circuits. And soon, the new becomes the natural. Do not underestimate the power of repetition. The same way you once rehearsed stress and fear until they became automatic, you can now rehearse joy and certainty until they take over. The body follows the signals you feed it. The nervous system will adapt to whatever you choose. That is the truth you cannot ignore. Every moment is a rehearsal. Every choice is a message. You are telling your brain, this is who I am. This is the state I belong to. And when the signal is strong enough, reality mirrors it. That is when change becomes instinct. That is when the new self feels like home. So pause now. Feel the weight of this choice. Will you let the old emotions remain your address? Or will you shift into a new home? The answer cannot wait for tomorrow. It begins in this moment. Close your eyes. Imagine the life you want, not as a dream, but as a memory. Feel it in your body. Let your heart beat with the joy of it. Breathe as if you are already there. Move as if it is already yours. That is how you shift the baseline. That is how you transform your destiny. The invitation is simple. Do not wait for life to prove you right. Choose to feel right now. Build the emotional home that matches your vision. And watch as reality delivers the evidence. The truth is here. Do not wait for proof to believe. Believe to create proof. The question is clear. Will you continue waiting for signs, or will you step fully into the state that makes the signs inevitable? When you need something too much, you are unconsciously broadcasting the frequency of lack. Can you feel the weight of that truth? The more desperate the energy, the further the desire drifts away. Wanting is natural, but clinging creates resistance. This is the paradox. You think the stronger you chase, the faster it comes, but the field does not respond to need, it responds to state. And the state of need is rooted in scarcity. What is the difference between desire and dependence? Desire is alive, it inspires. It fuels creativity. Dependence is heavy, it suffocates. It signals that you are incomplete without the outcome. When you depend, you give away your power. You turn your dream into a prison of expectation. And the more you push, the more life pushes back. The secret is letting go. Not abandoning what you want, but releasing the tight grip. Letting the flow move without your constant interference. Think of a river. If you clutch the water, it escapes through your fingers. If you open your hand, it surrounds you effortlessly. The same principle applies to energy. Letting go is not weakness, it is mastery. It is trusting that the frequency you broadcast will carry your dream toward you without frantic effort. Science supports this. Positive psychology research reveals that when people relax, when they accept instead of obsess, their creativity expands. Their problem-solving improves. Their entire brain lights up in ways that pressure never allows. Have you noticed how breakthroughs often arrive in moments of calm, not stress? That is the power of surrender. Robert, a startup founder in Seattle, embodied this lesson. For months, he was consumed with raising funds. He chased investors, sent endless emails, worried himself into exhaustion. Nothing happened. Then he shifted. Instead of obsessing over capital, he focused on building a product that truly served people. He breathed deeper, let go of the constant hunt, and worked with clarity. 2 months later, an investor reached out to him. The opportunity appeared. Without the desperate chase, letting go unlocked the flow dot. So how do you practice this in your life? Begin with the breath. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly, and with each breath release the tension of needing. Place your awareness on the present moment. Feel the ground beneath you, the rhythm of your body, the space around you. In this presence, there is no lack. In this presence, you are whole. And from this wholeness, your frequency shifts. You stop begging life to deliver, and you start radiating the energy of already having. Can you imagine living one day without chasing? A day where you stop hunting your dream and instead embody the feeling that it is already here. How would your shoulders relax? How would your voice sound? How would people around you respond to the calm certainty you carry? This is not pretending. This is alignment. The field mirrors the vibration of fullness, not emptiness, but the danger remains. If you cling too hard, If you place your worth in outcomes, you anchor yourself to lack. That is the trap. And the way out is surrender. Surrender is not quitting. It is trusting. It is saying, I am enough right now, and my state creates my future. Every moment you choose, you either emit the vibration of need or the vibration of abundance. Which one do you think reality will reflect? The mirror never lies. It shows you exactly what you radiate. So pause. Ask yourself honestly, are you chasing your dream with desperation? Or are you embodying it with certainty? The answer will decide what comes next. The invitation is clear. Try one day where you do not hunt. One day where you live as if your vision has already arrived. Feel it in your body. Let the breath anchor it. Watch how differently the world responds when you no longer send the signal of lack. Do not wait for proof to relax. Relax to create proof. That is the shift. That is the hidden door. Every choice you make today is tuning your frequency. Will you keep feeding the energy of scarcity, or will you release the grip and step into flow? The field is listening. The mirror is waiting. The question is simple. Will you let go and allow your future to arrive? Or will you keep holding so tightly that it slips away? After seeing the signal, act as if it is an invitation. Do you realize what this means? Life is not whispering to you by accident. The signs that appear, the ideas that spark, the opportunities that flash before your eyes are not random. They are calls to move. Yet how many times have you hesitated? How many times have you watched the door open and then doubted yourself until it quietly closed again? There is a difference between acting from fear and acting from alignment. Fearful action is heavy. It is rushed, desperate, filled with tension. It drains you because it comes from a place of survival. But aligned action feels different. It carries a strange lightness, yet a strong pull at the same time. It may not even make logical sense, but it feels right in your chest, in your gut, in your breath. That is inspired action. That is the signal of coherence between your inner state and the field around you. How do you recognize it? Pay attention to the ideas that arrive when you are calm, the sudden impulse to call someone, the inner nudge to send an email, the thought that keeps returning after meditation or deep breathing. Inspired action often feels simple, almost too easy. But that simplicity is the key. The mind overthinks. The field delivers clarity. Harvard Business Review revealed that people who act quickly on inspiration achieve better results than those who delay. Why? Because the signal is strongest when it first arrives. The longer you wait, the more your rational mind tears it apart. Doubt grows, fear spreads, and the opportunity slips away. Inspiration is not meant to be analyzed forever. It is meant to be acted upon now. Tom from Chicago lived this truth. An engineer, frustrated in his career, stumbled on an article by a mentor he admired. In that moment, he felt a clear impulse. Reach out. He could have delayed. He could have thought of reasons not to bother, but he acted. He sent an email that same night. That single step led to a meeting, and that meeting opened the door to his dream job. Not because he forced it, but because he responded to the invitation. This is your reminder. Inspiration is not decoration. It is direction. When it arrives, it is asking you to move. It does not shout. It whispers. And you must be awake enough to hear it and brave enough to respond. So what should you do? Begin by recording your sparks. Keep a small notebook or use your phone. When the idea comes, write it down. Do not dismiss it. Then act quickly. Even a small step, a message, a search, a call. Each step tells the field you are listening. Each step strengthens the link between inspiration and manifestation. Do not confuse this with reckless action. Fear-driven motion feels frantic. Inspired. Action feels calm but urgent. The energy is different. One drains, the other fuels. Can you feel the difference in your own life? This is the doorway you stand before. On one side, hesitation. On the other, creation. Which will you choose? Remember this truth. Life does not hand you signs for entertainment. It hands you signs as invitations. Ignore them, and the cycle continues. Answer them, and the next chapter unfolds. Breathe deeply and recall the last time. You felt that spark. Did you follow it, or did you silence it? What would have happened if you had stepped? What could still happen if you begin stepping now? The mirror responds not only to your state, but to your choices. Energy without action is potential. Energy with action is transformation. This is why alignment matters. First you shift the state, then you move from that state. That is the formula. So feel this clearly. The next idea that lands in your heart is not random. It is not coincidence. It is the invitation. Do not wait for more proof. Do not wait for permission. The proof comes after the step. Permission is already given. Take the step. Because inspiration comes to those who are ready to move, not those who plan forever. And let this sink into you. Inspiration is not for you to keep. It is for you to act on. When you do, life responds in ways you could never script out. So here is the call. The next time you feel that pull, remember Tom. Remember the door that opened because of one simple email. And know this, your signal is waiting too. Inspiration arrives as a gift. It becomes real only when you respond. So when the signal comes, will you hesitate, or will you act as if the universe itself is inviting you to step through the door? To sustain momentum, you must turn it into a part of your identity. Do you feel the weight of that truth? Motivation cannot remain a fleeting spark. It must become the fire that burns inside you every day, a flame tied to who you believe yourself to be. If action is just something you do once in a while, it fades. But if it becomes who you are, it lasts. Ask yourself this. Who are you choosing to be? Are you someone who waits for perfect conditions? Or are you someone who moves because aligned? Action is your nature. When you fuse your behavior with your core values, every step carries deeper meaning. You are no longer forcing yourself to act. You are living from integrity. And integrity never runs out of fuel. Think about your environment. James Clear revealed in Atomic Habits that environment shapes habits more powerfully than willpower. If you surround yourself with reminders of your new identity, with spaces that encourage growth, with people who embody the frequency you want to live in, then change becomes effortless. Willpower fades, but environment whispers constantly, and the whisper guides you. This is why community matters. Alone, you may lose rhythm. Together, you sustain it. Imagine gathering weekly with people who share your vision, who challenge you, who celebrate your steps. The energy multiplies. The accountability sharpens your focus. And the consistency locks in the new self. Anna, a designer from Denver, built this into her life. She joined a mastermind group that met every week. Each session kept her inspired, aligned, and accountable. The group became her support system, her mirror, her push. As a result, her career expanded rapidly. She was not carried by willpower alone. She was carried by identity and environment. Now consider this. How often do you pause to reset your energy? Momentum is not infinite. Even aligned action requires renewal. This is why practices like meditation, movement, or new experiences matter. They clear the static. They refresh your nervous system. They open space for fresh inspiration to enter. Without resets, even the strongest fire burns out. With resets, the flame grows brighter. So here's the path. Link your actions to your values. Build an environment that supports your growth. Anchor yourself in a community that fuels your journey, and renew your energy regularly. These are not tricks. They are foundations. They turn action into lifestyle. They turn momentum into identity. Now feel this. When you live inside the frequency of your new self, everything old begins to fall away naturally. You do not have to fight the past. You simply outgrow it. Old patterns cannot survive in the vibration of the new. Old doubts cannot thrive when your daily actions reinforce belief. This is the true power of identity. Ask yourself honestly, what would your life look like if you lived each day as the person you are becoming? What if you surrounded yourself with spaces, people, and practices that made the new self effortless? How quickly would the world reflect that back to you? Remember this, you are not trying to build a fragile habit. You are forging a way of being. And when you make it who you are, you no longer ask, how do I stay motivated? Instead, you live motivation as your natural state. So breathe into this moment. See yourself stepping into environments that elevate you. Feel yourself aligning every action with your values. Imagine the community that will hold you accountable. Sense the renewal that comes from stillness, movement, and new experiences. That is your new lifestyle. That is your new home. Asterisk. When you live in the space of your new frequency, the old cannot hold you. The old cannot pull you back. It dissolves because it no longer matches who you are. So the question becomes urgent. Will you keep waiting for motivation to strike? Or will you embody it as your identity? Will you treat momentum as a guest? Or will you welcome it as family? The call is clear. When you live as the new self, every step reinforces the next. Every action strengthens the cycle. And soon, what once felt forced becomes effortless. Do not just act. Become. Do not just try. Live. And as you breathe this truth, remember, when you live in the space of the new frequency, everything outdated falls away on its own. So ask yourself now, are you ready to let the old fade and step fully into the identity of the person you are always meant to be? When pulled back, that is the moment to prove how strong your alignment truly is. Do you understand the depth of this test? The old world will not let you go without resistance. The moment you step into a new identity, the past rises like a shadow, tugging at your ankles, whispering familiar doubts, presenting old triggers. And you wonder, why now? Why does the old return just when I have started to change? The answer is simple, because you are disrupting the script. Because you are no longer playing the role your nervous system and your past environment expect. The pullback effect is not a punishment. It is confirmation. It proves that your shift is real. This is where many stumble. They think resistance means failure. They think temptation means weakness. But in truth, the pullback is natural. Reality echoes what you were, even as you embody who you are becoming. The echo fades, but only if you refuse to sing its old song. Can you hold your frequency steady when the past invites you back? That is the challenge. That is the victory. Science confirms this. Stanford research shows that self-regulation, the ability to pause, breathe, and choose, is the key skill that sustains transformation. Without it, you fall into autopilot. With it, you rewrite the pattern in real time. Imagine the power of 3 breaths. 1 pause, 1 conscious choice. That moment of awareness is the difference between repeating the loop and strengthening the new self. Chris, a fitness coach in Nevada, lived this test. He had quit smoking, determined to reclaim his health. Yet when he met old friends, the urge returned with brutal force. His body remembered the habit. The temptation was sharp, but instead of collapsing, he practiced a technique. He paused. He took 3 deep breaths. And in that pause, he chose again. Each time he repeated this, the craving weakened. His new identity grew roots, and his old habit lost its grip. That is the power of conscious interruption. Now look at your own life. When the old self calls, do you answer? When familiar doubts creep in, do you obey them? Or do you breathe, pause, and step forward anyway? Each moment of temptation is not a trap, but a training ground. It is the gym where your new self builds muscle. Without resistance, you would not grow strong. With resistance, you gain proof of your power dot. So how do you face these moments? Remember the method. Pause, breathe, choose. Do not let autopilot pull you under. Let the breath reset your nervous system. Let the pause break the chain. Then choose in alignment with who you are becoming. Each choice strengthens the neural pathways of your new identity. Each choice broadcasts a stronger frequency. Consistency matters. Inner steadiness matters. Even when no one is watching, even when the world tempts you, your coherence is your shield. The past has no power unless you give it permission. The echo fades only when you stop answering dot. So ask yourself this. Are you ready to treat every pullback as a test of strength? Are you willing to prove that your alignment is not fragile, but uncheckable? Because every time you resist the old pattern, you confirm the new one. Every temptation you overcome adds weight to your frequency. Every victory, no matter how small, cements your transformation. Feel the urgency of this truth. The world will test you, that is certain. But these tests are not meant to break you. They are designed to reveal you. They are the fire that forges the new self. They are the mirror that shows you how far you have come. Remember this. The pullback effect is not the end. It is the beginning of mastery. It is the place where desire becomes discipline, where vision becomes embodiment, where the new identity stops being fragile and starts being permanent. So here is your call. The next time the old world reaches for you, do not fear it. Welcome it as proof that you are changing. Breathe, pause, choose, and step forward with steady strength. Each time you win this small battle, you are not just surviving. You are building the foundation of a new frequency. And once the foundation is firm, nothing can shake it. So I ask you now, when the old life tries to pull you back, will you collapse into what was, or will you stand in what is becoming? Because every temptation you overcome does more than protect your progress. It amplifies your signal. It strengthens your identity. It proves that you are no longer the person you once were. And this is the truth you cannot ignore. Every time you rise above the pullback, you do not just resist. You ascend. You step closer to the life you have been creating. So breathe deeply, hold your ground, and remember, every victory against the pull of the past is another brick in the foundation of your future. And every time you overcome temptation, you are not just surviving. You are proving that your new frequency is real, unshakable, and ready to carry you into the next chapter. When sustained long enough, you are no longer searching. You are the signal. Can you feel the gravity of that? You are not the seeker anymore. You are the creator. You are not waiting for signs to appear. You are the sign. This is the shift that changes everything. Think about it. How many years have you spent chasing, waiting, hoping, always looking for proof, always asking when, always reaching outside yourself? But now, after alignment, after consistency, after building your new frequency, the game has changed. You are no longer broadcasting need. You are radiating presence, and presence is magnetic. The truth is simple. The world responds to who you are being, not what you beg for. When you live as the signal, you do not have to chase. People feel you. Opportunities notice you. Reality bends to you. Because you have become the frequency itself. This is not a metaphor. It is science. Studies on emotional contagion reveal that your state spreads into the environment. Positive energy is not private. It ripples into others. When you radiate gratitude, trust, and strength, you shift rooms, you shift conversations, you shift lives. You become the mirror that inspires others to rise. Mark, a business owner in San Francisco, proved this. He shifted himself first. He stopped leading from stress. He began radiating calm, gratitude, and vision. Slowly, his team mirrored him. His partners changed. His company culture transformed. Within a year, revenue doubled. Not because he hunted harder, but because he embodied the signal dot. So ask yourself, who are you broadcasting to the world? Are you sending out fear, or are you transmitting strength? Are you leaking scarcity, or are you radiating abundance? The answer is shaping your reality in this very moment. Presence is the key. Gratitude is the anchor. Inspiration is the gift you give others simply by being aligned. This is the new stage of your journey. You are not just living for yourself. You are now a lighthouse, and others will navigate by your light dot. So what does this mean for today? It means you must step into the world as the signal of prosperity, love, and power. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Walk into your day with the certainty that you are broadcasting the vibration of your highest self, and watch how the world reflects it back with precision. Do not wait for evidence to feel aligned. Feel aligned and evidence will arrive. This is the law. This is the mirror. This is the truth. And here is your invitation. Step out today as the signal. Notice how people respond to your energy. Notice how opportunities gravitate toward you. Notice how life mirrors the state you live in. This is not theory anymore. This is your reality dot. So let me ask you directly. Are you ready to stop searching, stop waiting, and finally embody the frequency that attracts everything you desire? Are you ready to live as the signal? The choice is in your hands. Now. Before you go, take this moment of clarity and make it count. If this message reached you, if it spoke to the deepest part of you, then begin applying it today. Do not let it fade into another passing idea. Anchor it, act on it, live it. And if it touched you, share it. There is someone in your life right now who needs this reminder. Spread it to them. Pass the signal forward. Leave a comment below. Tell me what resonated with you most. What part of this message struck you as truth? I want to hear your voice. Tap the like button if this lit a spark inside you. Subscribe so you never miss the next step in this journey. And share this video so more people can awaken to their own signal dot. Thank you for choosing to watch this message among millions of others. Thank you for giving your presence here. And most of all, thank you for stepping into the truth of who you are. Remember this as you move forward. You are not waiting. You are not searching. You are not hoping. You are the signal dot. So walk into the world today broadcasting the frequency of prosperity, love, and power. Because when you live as the signal, reality has no choice but to reflect it back to you.